So here is something that I didn't realize initially. It has to do with foods that you tolerate, but aren't necessarily great for you, or okay, let me rephrase that. Aren't necessarily helpful in the long run. So, for example, I guess I've been binging on, not really binging, but eating a little more often. I guess homemade cookies and sweets and so on. I realized that I could tolerate them after eating clean for a bit, and I started testing foods maybe in the past, I guess a little more than a few months at this point, towards the end of November of 2022. And I'm looking back at my biometrics, food journaling, etc. And I realized that, hey, my weight has increased and percent body fat has increased by a bit more than I'd like. So I guess at my ideal metrics, my weight's under 145 pounds, ideally closer to 140 pounds. And then my percent body fat was hovering around 6-7%, definitely less than 8% normally. And in the past few months, ever since testing a lot of foods outside my diet, finding that certain things that are tolerable, like the cookies, for example, chocolate chip cookies, sugar cookies that I made, they're tolerable in terms of, I could sleep throughout the night. It actually does help with REM sleep in particular, surprisingly. But I'm noticing now, a few months have gone by, and in the past few weeks, I've been, or at least the past week or so, the amount of cookies I've been eating have been really, like, almost daily. You're having 2 to 4 cookies a day, which I'm weighing my food, so the weight of the food comes out to be 150 to 200 grams, more or less, depending on how many cookies I'm eating. And I'm noticing that, like this past week in particular, function and specifically productivity really just dropped much more than ideal. And I'm noticing, what's happening here? Even though I'm tolerating, quote unquote, the, I guess, light pastries or the dessert pastries here. And so I after a few days this week where I completely was not able to do what I normally needed to do, I'm making another shift into the diet, or going on a more pure reset again, where I'm cutting out these excess carbs that are refined but seemingly tolerable. But I guess what I am noticing is that there is this neuroinflammatory response that I'm getting. It's subtle, built up over, I guess, the past couple months at least. And lo and behold, it is reflected in the blood pressure apparently, as well as informal measurements, because I'm using the Oura ring. The ring obviously stays consistent in size, but every morning I'm waking up with it incredibly puffy, so it's difficult to remove. Whereas in the past, when I wake up well and not inflamed, definitely, the blood, not only does it reflect in the blood pressure, but as in the blood pressure is lower or more ideal to what is optimal for me. But also the ring easily slides off, or at times it's as if no puffiness is even noted. So lately, I've been noting that blood pressure is higher than ideal, still under 120 over 80, but not my ideal, which is closer to like low hundreds, and the bottom number is in the 50s. And I'm noticing that, function is starting to go negative as well, along with these metrics. And here's the big thing. My current percent body fat is hovering in the 8% range now, and I'm like, yeah, that's not my ideal scenario. As well as the fact that my body weight is closer to about 10 pounds heavier than I'd like. Yeah, exercise has not changed much. Still keeping up the regimen, etc. So my current weight is close to almost 150-ish, or hovering around there, if anything. So the update here now is, so yesterday I decided to, cut it pretty clean. No sugar, no refined flour, etc. And yesterday I peaked. So yesterday morning's readings with my percent body fat and weight at least were this. So I was around 151 pounds and change, and my percent body fat was just shy of 9%. So just eating clean yesterday, I wake up this morning, take my measurements, and percent body fat drops down to close to low 8%, so 8.2-ish, 8.3%, and the body weight is 3 pounds, about 3 pounds and change lighter, so hovering at 148 and change pounds there. So it definitely does reflect the fact that inflammation is definitely notable, especially with foods that I'm eating or cut out. Then obviously you minimize the inflammation as well, or lessen at least. So I guess for the ring in particular, trying to remove the ring this morning, it was easier. Still on the puffy side. So I do note that even though your body is less inflamed, it's not like all of a sudden it'll be like perfect from one day's change of eating clean, let's say. Although it's starting to move in the right direction, at least shown by the metrics, biometrics, and sleep data. As in the past month or so, I was not getting anything above 85% efficiency of sleep, and lo and behold, yesterday, or this morning when I looked at the metrics, it hit 87% efficiency in sleep, and then that's better. I still want to hit above 90, which I've hit a couple times, but consistency isn't there yet. So I guess working on that currently. So yeah, realizing subtle changes in the diet, although seemingly tolerable at times with certain foods. If you're noticing differences in productivity, function, and then obviously, and big thing for me was mental state, mental clarity, and just mental wellness, what was really shot. So that's another impetus in terms of, well, why eat a really clean diet in the first place? It has to do, again, with making the better choices, and realizing, well, you're living, you're trying to do things that are good rather than not, trying to be helpful rather than not. So if you're gonna have to forego, let's say, the desserts or things that are temporarily pleasuring, that might be the case, especially I guess for me. I find that I'll need to do that to make bigger steps forward, and yeah, just sharing a little bit of these experiences for now in this journey, let's say. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, what you've gone through, what you've noticed. But until then, we'll catch you next time.